Hey guys, today we're gonna be making a fake Stranger Things Coke ad, but there's a twist. We're gonna be making the video entirely with things we bought from the dollar store. I've been wanting to make this for a while now because there's so many cool ways to make super complicated scenes with the simplest of stuff. So without further ado, let's get into it. To start off, I really love the scenes of Eleven walking through a black void, so I wanted to recreate that. I grabbed 4 rolls of wrapping paper from the dollar store. It doesn't really matter what you grab, as long as they're long and somewhat hard.
You tell anyone I just told you that, and your ass is grass, you're dead, Henderson. You understand?
I lined them up in a square to hot glue them, only to not hot glue them and so elegantly jam them into each other. I was going to hot glue them, and then I realized if I did, it would only be as strong as the outer layer of wrapping paper, so they wouldn't hold together very well. I bent each one 90 degrees. This would help me make up the corners of this square frame that I was making. It was pretty strong, especially around the corners where I jammed them together, but I wasn't trusting of it, so I decided to add wooden bamboo splints in the corners as well as the centers of each of these to help act as splints. Next, I took a black tablecloth that I thought was waterproof and I laid it over the wrapping paper frame. This, combined with the frame, is supposed to act as a water basin to hold all the water in. I was still concerned with the strength of the wrapping paper, so I decided to tape it down to the table just to give it a little bit more rigidity, because water can get pretty heavy and I do not want it pouring all over the floor. And now, we fill it. I think this can be a really easy and fun thing to film, and I recommend trying it out yourself. You probably can actually make it a lot better than I made it. I was using wrapping paper and whatever I had, but if you use some 2x4s and maybe a tarp, you can make it a lot bigger and have a lot larger of a scene to film a lot cooler things. Looking back, definitely one of the large drawbacks was the lack of size I could make because I was using dollar store items. If I made it a lot bigger, I could have got a lot more water action and a lot more light in the scene. I just realized looking at this, doing this so close to my computer was probably not a good idea. And this is only paper, so Don't do this at home, kids. Next, we set up for some cool Coca-Cola void shots. I take this tray that I cut a hole in a past video, and I take this light and jam it inside. This is honestly just to hold up the light so it'll stay in place. Here's the first unedited clip. That's cool and all, but we're far from over. We still have a lot to record. One clip doesn't make a commercial. I wanted to keep this as simple as possible, so I found this poster board and these peel and stick wallpapers. This was pretty straightforward, especially considering at the time of buying these, I did not know they were peel and stick, so I thought I was going to have to glue each one individually down. These worked perfectly for what I needed. They applied super easily, and I didn't need a lot of them, so I didn't have to buy a huge roll of it either. I was honestly really happy with how this turned out, and all we had left to do is trim up the edges, and then we're on to the countertop. The countertop was the same process as the wall. We just took some vinyl and slapped it on a poster board. The only difference is the vinyl was 1,000 times worse to put on because it came in a roll, so it was all crinkled. Now all that's left to do is line up the corners and get ready to film some cool shots. I try to make these shots feel or look like Dustin or one of the other group members was just grabbing a Coke. I didn't want it to be too cinematic. If it was too cinematic, I feel like it would feel staged and wouldn't go very well with the audio that I add later. And now we're just about done. I just had to clean up this scene and shoot one final scene, and we'll be ready to show the final results. To get the final shot, I take this small little tripod, and I tape a small dinky light onto it. I have to use such a small light, because any kind of powerful light, and it'll wash out the scene and take away the black void effect. I also, just for fun, made an entirely different ad, solely with Blender, a 3D modeling software. I'll show you guys that video at the very end. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. My dollar store Stranger Things ad.
A shadow grows on the wall behind you, swallowing you in darkness. It is almost here. What is it?
What if it's the Demogorgon? Oh, Jesus, we're so screwed if it's the Demogorgon.
It's not the Demogorgon. An army of troglodytes charge into the chamber.
Troglodytes. Told you.
Wait a minute.
Now, for the ad I made entirely with a 3D modeling software. Thank you guys so much for watching the whole video. If you guys did enjoy the video, maybe consider liking, subscribing, doing all that fun stuff. If you guys want to see more of me, I do stream Monday through Thursday on Twitch. And that's about it. Peace out, eat your vegetables, and keep being you guys.